This video will show you how to install Boost Auto Parts tow mirrors on your 2019 and newer Ram 1500 truck. At the time of filming this video, this applies to 2019 to 2022 Ram 1500 trucks, but for exact fitment, please check our website at boostautoparts.com. This specific video shows you how to add the power folding features to vehicles not originally equipped. If you are installing manual folding mirrors or power folding mirrors onto a vehicle that was originally equipped with power folding mirrors, please reference a separate Boost Auto Parts video. To get all the parts shown in this video, as well as other parts and accessories for your truck or SUV, check out our website at boostautoparts.com. Using a trim tool, remove the driver's side window switch. Depress the tab on the connector that plugs into the window switch and remove the connector completely. Open the door handle and use a pick or small flathead screwdriver to remove the dust cover covering the bolt. Remove the 10mm bolt behind the door panel. Using a pick or flathead, remove the dust shield underneath the door grab, exposing the two 10mm bolts. Remove the two 10mm bolts underneath the door grab. Release the trim clips holding on the door panel. It's easiest to start at the front. Once all the trim clips are released, before lifting up on the door panel completely, make sure to keep the lock lever clear. Using a pair of needle nose pliers, depress the latches that hold the door cable into place, then pull it straight back and out to the side, releasing the ball socket from the door handle mechanism. If your vehicle has this connector, release the white latch, depress the tab and unplug it, then remove the door panel completely. Undo the surrounding window trim piece. There are 3 trim clips holding it in, then it can be removed. Unplug the connector from your original mirrors. There may be up to 3 connectors here, then release the clips holding the harness to the door. If your vehicle is equipped with 360-degree camera, you may have this connector here. Depress the latch and unplug the camera completely. While supporting the mirror, remove the 2 10mm nuts as well as the 2 10mm bolts holding the mirror onto the vehicle. Remove the original mirror from the vehicle. Guide the wiring harness from your new Boost Auto Parts mirrors into the vehicle, making sure no wires get pinched between the body of the mirror and the truck, then mount the mirror onto the vehicle. Install the original 2 10mm mounting nuts and 2 10mm mounting bolts to retain the Boost Auto Parts mirrors to the vehicle. Repeat the procedure on the passenger side. The procedure is the exact same. If you purchase mirrors that are signal only, or you purchase mirrors equipped with the running light but originally had it, please skip this next portion of the video showing how to run the orange wire for the running light, as that feature would be plug and play. You can skip to the portion of the video detailing how to add the power fold. Plug in the extension harness for the running light. Remove the door harness door grommet above the speaker. Use a pick to poke a hole in the door grommet, then guide the running light wire straight on through, pulling all the slack in. Using your hands, release the rubber grommet in the door side, holding the door harness into place. Remove the rubber covering up the cab side connector. Using a trim tool, release the 3 tabs holding on the connector on the cab side. There's 1 on the top and 2 on the bottom. Slightly close the door, then using your hand pull the connector out of the cab. Feed the running light wire from the door through the door jamb area, making sure to be clear of the window. Using a sturdy piece of metal, in this case a straightened out coat hanger, run it through the door jamb boot, making sure not to catch any wires. Use some electrical tape to tape the running light wire to the sturdy piece of metal, then pull the sturdy piece of metal straight on through, bringing the wire for the running light with it. Pass the running light wire straight through the center of this door jamb connector. In this case there's a black wire there in the middle. We will run it directly underneath it. Reinstall the rubber over the cab side connector. Install the press-fit rubber boot into the door. Reinstall the grommet above the speaker in the door. Remove the door trim sill plate. Run the wire through the door jamb into the vehicle. There's an area just to the left of the parking brake that it can enter in. Grab the wire and pull the slack straight through. Snap the door connector back into place. In order to align it, you may need to slightly close the door to bring it into place, then just snap it in. There's 3 trim clips that retain it. Repeat the procedure on the passenger side. The procedure is the exact same. Get the orange wire into the cab. You will need to bring the passenger side running light wire to the driver's side kick panel, release the trim clips holding on this piece, then tuck the running light wire there, fish it across the dash as shown here in the video, and get the passenger side running light wire here into the driver's side. Unscrew the two 7mm bolts holding the trim panel underneath the steering wheel in place. Securely pull on the trim panel once the bolts are removed and it will drop down just like so. Bring the driver and passenger side running light wires straight up towards this fuse box. Be sure to tie them up with some zip ties to keep everything clear and out of the way. Cut the excess length off the driver and passenger side running light wires. Strip the ends of both of the running light wires, then twist them together, place them into a fuse tap, and crimp them both into one single fuse tap. Locate and remove fuse number 49 from the fuse box. Take the fuse that you removed from fuse 49, place it into the lower slot on the fuse tap, then install the fuse tap back into the original location that fuse 49 was in. Reinstall the trim panel underneath the steering wheel, then replace the two 7mm screws. Reinstall the door sill trim plate. We will now begin the installation of the wireless power folding modules. One module goes inside each door panel. Shown here on the screen is the left and right side modules along with their corresponding harnesses. Note that the left side has an additional harness that the right side does not. The modules are labeled left hand and right hand. You need to install the proper module on the proper side. Locate the left hand module and corresponding harnesses as we will begin installing them on the driver's side. Unplug this middle white connector by depressing the latch, then locate the wire in slot 1, which is likely a solid red wire. Install one of the provided blue T-taps onto the red wire. Place the wire directly into the jaw of the T-tap and fold it over until it fully latches. If necessary, you can use some needle nose pliers to help secure it down. Locate the black connector on the Boost Auto Parts mirrors. In the bottom right hand corner when looking at it from the rear, there will be a solid black wire with a white tracer. Install one of the red T-taps provided by Boost Auto Parts onto the black wire with white tracer. Take the solid red wire from the Boost Auto Parts harness and plug it into the blue T-tap. Then take the solid black wire from the Boost Auto Parts harness and plug it into the red T-tap. Make sure the metal from the disconnect goes directly into the T-tap and that the disconnects slide all the way forward. Plug the 2-pin black connector with the blue and yellow wires from the Boost Auto Parts harness into the 2-pin connector on the Boost Auto Parts mirrors. It's important to note there will be an additional 2-pin connector with orange wires in it. Those will not be used in this application and can simply be taped back with some electrical tape. Plug in the two white connectors from the Boost Auto Parts harness into the white connectors from the Boost Auto Parts mirrors as shown here. It's important to note that these are keyed specifically so cannot be plugged in incorrectly, and these will only be present on the driver's side. Plug all of the connectors into the door module, including all of the connectors from the Boost Auto Parts mirrors. The Boost Auto Parts mirrors may have 2 or 3 connectors depending on your original configuration on the vehicle, as well as the configuration of the mirrors purchased from Boost Auto Parts. Locate the driver's side module, which has 2 connector ports and is labeled LH, and secure it to the harness with the provided zip ties as shown here. Then take the provided harnesses and plug them into the Boost Auto Parts wireless power folding module on the driver's side. Secure the additional slack of the harness up to the original factory harness with some provided zip ties. Repeat the procedure on the passenger side. On the passenger side, there will just be one harness as it does not need to intercept the power adjust. The tap locations on the passenger side are the same. The red T-tap will be placed onto the black wire with white tracer, and the blue T-tap will be placed onto the wire in position 1 of this connector, which is likely a solid red wire. The solid red wire from the Boost Auto Parts harness will go into the blue T-tap, and the solid black wire from the Boost Auto Parts harness will go into the red T-tap. Plug the connectors back into the door module, then plug the solid black connector into the connector from the Boost Auto Parts harness. Once again, you will not be using the black connector with orange wires. Plug the harness into the Boost Auto Parts right-hand module, then securely fasten the Boost Auto Parts module up to the factory harness out of the way, making sure none of the wires can be pinched. Proceed with door panel installation by beginning with installing this trim piece that surrounds the window and covers the mirror bolts. At the time of filming this video, Boost Auto Parts does not offer mirrors with camera, but should we offer it in the future and you have mirrors with a camera, make sure to plug that connector back in. Bring the door panel into position and plug in this 4-pin black connector if equipped. Reinstall the ball socket on the door handle, then slide the retention clip into place to keep the door handle cable retained. Making sure all wires are free and clear of the door panel, guide the wiring harness for the window switch through the hole, guide the lock lever through the door panel, then bring it into position and re-engage all of the trim clips holding the door panel onto the door. Screw in the two 10mm bolts below the door grab. Reinstall the trim piece covering up the two 10mm bolts below the door grab. Screw in the 10mm bolt behind the door handle. Place the trim cover back over the 10mm bolt behind the door handle. Plug the window switch in, then snap it down back into the door panel. If your original mirrors did not have the turn signal, you will need to have the sales codes LEB and LEC enabled in order for the turn signal and puddle light to work properly. Test the module activation, select the left mirror adjust button with the ignition on, then press the left left right right button sequence and you should hear the module beep twice indicating it's active. And just like that, your installation is complete. To get all the parts shown in this video, as well as other parts and accessories for your truck or SUV, check out our website at boostautoparts.com. This next section of the video will be a tutorial showing you how to wirelessly power fold the mirrors. Please note that this is filmed on a GMC truck, but the same procedure is applicable to the Ram trucks.
To begin, start by activating the modules. Do this by pressing the left mirror adjust selector. Then, use the left left, right right button sequence on the arrow pad to activate the modules. Once you hear 2 fast beeps, the module is activated. While the modules are activated, the mirror glass will not adjust. Once the modules are activated, you may power fold the mirrors. Tap the up arrow to fold the mirror out, or tap the down arrow to fold the mirror in. You may see the passenger side mirror start folding slightly after the driver's side due to the modules communicating from side to side. To deactivate the mirror, you have 2 options. The first option would be to let the modules time out. If there is no activity for 10 seconds, the modules will automatically deactivate. You can also deactivate the modules manually by using the left-left, right-right button sequence on the arrow pad. You'll hear 3 fast beeps once the modules are deactivated. Once the modules are deactivated, any left-hand mirror adjustment will be slightly delayed to prevent erratic module activation.